Hello my friends, HotRod here, and today I'm going to make one of my all-time favorites. That's right, chili. And we have the perfect weather for chili. So, as you can see, these are some of my ingredients. And I will be using a chuck roast, and I will be grinding this meat to get the best flavor out of this meat. Now, typically I do buy regular ground beef, but in this case I really want to up the game and have the best quality. Now, when it comes to dicing your food, there's nothing like a nice sharp knife. And this is my favorite chef knife. Extremely sharp, but very effective. So we'll start dicing the onions, peppers, celery. And this knife makes easy work of it. Alright, prep work is done. Everything's all diced up. And now it's time to clean the board and get ready to dice the meat. Just picked this up today. And very good quality. A lot of the flavor comes from the fat in the meat. And you can see this has plenty of it. Alright, so we're going to grind this up. I got my chunks ready. And let's stuff them in the machine, turn it on, and get to grinding. All right. We're going to add my favorite olive oil to the pot. And I'm using a hex-clad pot. This is an awesome pot. I have a whole set. And this thing cooks very well and nothing sticks to it. I love it. Alright, the oil is hot. Let's get our Alright, we are going to saute. We want to get this so that the onions are a translucent. We're going to add our pepper, sea salt, stir it thoroughly. That salt's going to make the onions and peppers sweat a bit. And now you can see that they're nice and caramelized. So we're going to add our garlic. Good tablespoon will do. And we're going to stir that in. And continue to stir for a few minutes. Alright, we're going to remove this from the pot and add a little bit more oil, and now we're about to brown the meat. Set a bit of pepper, salt. We're going to add a garlic onion mixture. And let's stir that in and let that brown. Now, once that's good and brown, we're going to add back our veggies, our onions, peppers, celery, garlic, and stir that in there. And let that simmer a bit. At this point, we're going to add the diced tomatoes. Let that continue to simmer. If you can smell this, it smells wonderful. I like to add a jar of salsa. This is a medium salsa. Just adds a bit of more flavor to it. And as you can see, I've roasted some mushrooms. Roasted those, sauteed those in olive oil and butter. I love mushrooms in my chili. How about you? Now it's time to add the chili beans, and I'm going to add 5 cans. Stir that up very good. Get that mixture in there. Now it's time to add a couple of bay leaves, and we'll stir that in there and let that continue to simmer. Now we're going to add a little spice to it. Some hot sauce there. Red pepper, and this is one of my ingredients, a little bit of beer. You don't have to add that, but I've always added beer to my chili and people love it. And let's get that stirred and let that simmer. And then we're going to transfer that, after it simmers a bit, to a crock pot. As you can see, it's simmering very well. Let's stir it again. Alright, and now it's definitely time to get this transferred to a crock pot. I like to let the crock pot do the rest of the cooking, so I don't have to constantly stand over the stove and stir it. Because with beans, you definitely have to constantly stir that, otherwise they can get burned to the bottom of the pan. So this crock pot has done a great job, and now it's time to test it. It smells wonderful and looks good too. So I always add a little extra heat. My friend Linda Appleby got me this bottle of Satan's Blood. It is extremely hot, and just one drop will do. So we'll just pour 1 drop in it. Oops. Looks like 2 drops got in there. So we'll stir that up real good. And add our cheddar cheese. And I always add a good tablespoon of sour cream. That kind of takes the kick out of the hotness. Garnish it with a little chives. And of course, I've always eaten chili with cheese crackers. Cheez-Its. Love it. Bon appetit.